everybody, welcome back. It's Christina again with the Artist Pod, and today we'll be talking about how to sketch a pumpkin. As always, I'm using a Wacom Intuos Pro tablet. I'm drawing straight into Photoshop, so let's get arting. Alright, so today we'll be drawing a pumpkin. Pumpkins are pretty easy to draw. I was about to start the document and it occurred to me I very rarely show this part of it. So, I launch Photoshop and then you can select new or open recent or whatever. So we're gonna select new. You can see that I use the 15 by 18 300 ppi quite a lot. That is my sort of standard working space, but you can adjust that size over here. You can do inches, pixels, centimeters, millimeters, all of those things. But I usually stick to inches, 15 by 18, and then always 300. I don't really want to go less than that, especially if it's going to be printed. So, sometimes, like if you're taking photographs or whatever, they may default to 72, but as much as possible, do 300. It's just a better resolution. But I already have, my sort of standard here, so I could hit create here, or I could just click this, make sure that whatever custom is set, and hit create. So adjust it here, and then hit create. It's going to pop this open. I'm going to start a new layer, which is this button right here. And I'm going to fill that with black, because I always work in black. Start a new layer, and then we'll be drawing on top of this. So I typically draw in purple, certainly not orange for a pumpkin. I sketch out in purple because I don't want my sketch lines to be confused for my finished product. Now pumpkins, they're kind of roundish, so they're roundish with these sort of stripes coming down. So we are just going to get started with like a stripe coming down. We want it to be a little bit rounded off, coming down, coming up. Right, we can adjust the top as needed. And then, we'll have another one, kind of a loop up. We'll have this also off center. We'll do another one at some point. We'll have like the middle, right? So if we do this one in the middle, we'll have kind of a loop on both sides where you have that pumpkin middle coming in, right? So then the other two sides on the right would be adjusting like these are over here, right? So we have, and it doesn't have to be even because it's, it's a pumpkin, not an animal, so it's not going to have like a nice straight edge, right? So we bring that over, and then one last little guy to match what we've already done. Let's make him a little thicker because it's thicker on the other side. Again, it doesn't have to match, but want a nice rounded look to the pumpkin, and we can kind of run this into the bottom. They'll have somewhat of a rough bottom and top. Right, so now I'm going to shift it into the middle. So now, I can make some small adjustments. I don't like how that edge is coming out, so I can make you a little bit rounder over here. Maybe come down a little bit further and just erase that. Pumpkins, pretty easy. You create a bunch of these lines. Just make sure that one of the lines is in the middle, and then you have these other lines kind of going off, or these other, I don't know what to call them, wedge shapes, I don't know. Either way, the general shape of the pumpkin is a circle, right? Now you could leave it like this. Usually you can kind of see, a stem coming up, right? So if we have a little stem coming up, and that can be whatever shape you want it to be. It's usually this little stubby thing. And if you want, you can also have some of the pumpkin like coming behind the stem, which I think adds a nice touch for depth. But you don't have to, that's completely up to you there. Pumpkin is a pumpkin is a pumpkin. Just gonna fix the bottom. It's got a rough bottom, but maybe not quite like, it's not gonna have like points coming out of it. There we go. So, that's how you sketch a pumpkin. Alright, so that's how you sketch a pumpkin. I hope that was helpful. In the floating nether next to me, I have other videos of art tutorials I have done, and I will see you all soon. Thank you so much. Take care.